morning, children. Are you ready to study today's lessons? Okay, let's start. Today, let's learn Chapter 7 Modals. Auxiliary verbs are of two types, modal auxiliary and non-modal auxiliary. We know non-modal auxiliary means be forms, have form, do form. This modal auxiliary, they are also helping verbs, and after this modal auxiliary we can use root form of the verb. Now let's see what are the modal auxiliaries. They are can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, need, dare, must, used to, ought to. Here, could is the past tense of can, might is the past tense of may, should is the past tense of shall, would is the past tense of will. So, these are the examples of modal auxiliaries. These are the modal auxiliaries. So, they are used for different purposes. We can study their functions, these modal auxiliaries functions, and also we can go through the example of each one. Now let's see the modals one by one and their functions and also their examples. So first one is can and could. The function of can and could expresses possibility, and it expresses ability or power. Then it is used to ask for or grant permission. And here could is sometimes used in polite request. So all this can and could, they expresses possibility, ability, power, and sometimes to ask permission or grant permission we can use can. And could also has the same function, but could is more polite than can. So let's see the examples. Can Ankita complete this work? Rita can speak French. That shows ability. They could do it if they are determined. That also shows ability. Can I borrow a pen, please? That's a request. He can leave after 5 p.m. That is permission. Could I have some water? That is polite request. Could I park my bike here? That is also request. Next one is me. Now let's see the function of me. Me is used to ask for or grant permission. May indicates a purpose. May denotes possibility. May expresses a wish. So these are the functions of may. Now let's see the example. May I leave the classroom? Yes, you may. That is asking permission or granting permission. Next one, she works hard so that she may win the contest. So that one, second one, that is indicating a purpose. Next one, father may be late today. This one shows possibility. May our captain score a century? That is expressing a wish. Next one, might. Might is the past tense form of may. Functions of might is Might indicates a doubtful possibility, not sure. It may be sometimes only it will happen. That's why doubtful possibility. Might denotes extreme politeness. If you are too much polite, you have to use might. Might expresses a gentle reproach or dissatisfaction. In order to show dissatisfaction, you can use might. So let's see one by one. Example: Rohit might accept your offer. Here, might is used as a doubtful possibility. Next one, might I ask for a cup of tea? That is showing extreme politeness. Next one, you might speak more politely. That is showing your gentle reproach or your here gentle reproach, and it is also used for dissatisfaction also. That's about might. Next one, shall. Now let's see the functions of shall. Shall is used in the first person to indicate the simple future. Do you know what is first person? In pronouns, in personal pronouns, there are three persons. They are first person, second person, and third person. First person is always I, and the plural form of I is we. And second person is always you. Plural is also you. And third person is he or she or it. They are singular. And the plural of this third person is they. So, three persons are there. First person, second person, and third person. In this case, the case of shall, we use with shall can be used with first person. Means I shall. For simple future, we can use shall with first person. And shall is used in the second and third person to denote promise, command, or threat. We can use shall with second person and also third person. That means we can use with you, he, she, it, or they. But in order to denote promise or command or threat. And here shall is used to ask for the opinion of the person spoken to you. So, in order to ask opinion, we can use shall. So, examples. I shall travel to Kerala next week. I shall travel to Kerala next week. That is used with first person. Next example. They shall be rewarded. That shows promise. You shall not be late. That shows command. He shall be punished. That is threat. And next example, shall I close the window? That is asking opinion. Which jacket shall I wear? That is also opinion. So these are the functions and uses of shall. Now let's see should. Should is the past tense of shall. Another modal auxiliary is should. Functions of should. Should is used to denote duty or obligation. Should is used to denote a condition or supposition. Should is used to give advice. Should is used to disapprove of something that was done. Should is used in the second and third persons to indicate a future possibility. So, in order to denote duty or obligation, we can use should. In order to denote a condition or supposition, there also we use should. To give advice, there we use should. To disapprove of something, there also we use should. And the should can be used with second person and third person. That is you, along with you, he, she, it, and they, we can use should. That is used to indicate future possibility. So let's see the examples. You should take care of your pet. If it should rain, we shall cancel the picnic. So the first case, you should take care of your pet. That is showing duty or obligation. Next one, if it should rain, we shall cancel the picnic. That is showing condition. Next one, you should not waste time. That is giving advice. Next one, they should not have disobeyed the old man. That is showing disapproval of the action done. Next one, Ritu should be home soon. That is showing the possibility, future possibility. That's about should. Next one, will. Let's see the functions of will. Will is used to show willingness or determination. So in order to show willingness, we can use, or in order to show determination, we can use will. And will is used to make a promise. If you want to make a promise, you can use will. Will is used in the second and third persons to indicate characteristics or customary actions. So along with second person, that is you, and third person, he, she, it, or they, we can use will in order to show, indicate characteristics or customary actions. Then will is used to denote assumption or probability. If you need to guess something, you can use will. So these are the functions of will. Now let's see the examples. I will walk with you. I will score a goal. These both these sentences shows willingness or determination. Next one. I will help mother set the table. That is showing promise. Next one. He will read a book before going to bed. That is used to show the characteristics or customary action. That is a habitual action, right? Next one. This will be the medicine he needs. That is the assumption. So these are the functions and examples of will. Now let's see the next one. Would. Would is the past tense form of will. So the functions. Would is used to denote a wish. So if you want to say a wish, you can use would. Would is used to express determination. So in order to show determination, we can use would. Would is used to denote frequent actions in the past. If some actions happen frequently, often, then we can use would. Some actions frequently happened in the past, then we can use would. Would is used to indicate uncertainty or condition. Uncertainty means not sure. So if something not sure happen or some conditions occur, then we can use would. Would is used in polite expressions. So in order to do some polite expressions or remarks, we can use would. Now let's see the example. I would like to take up nursing. That sentence shows a wish. Next one. Chitra said she would water the plants every day. This sentence shows determination. She would have a pizza every Sunday. That is the frequent actions. Next one. I would have helped you if you had asked me. So that shows condition. Next one. Would you like to join me for dinner? That is polite expression. That's about would. Next one. need. Here, the function of need is it is used as a main verb to mean require. Earlier I told you modals can be used as helping verb, but in this case, in the case of need, it can be used as a main verb. The meaning of that need is require. If it is used as a main verb, then the meaning is require. And need is used in interrogative and negative sentences as an auxiliary verb used only in the simple present tense. So need can be used in interrogative sentence. Interrogative means question, and negative sentences. Negative means using not. So in such cases, need can be used as an auxiliary verb. It is used as a helping verb. So in such cases, use only the present tense, simple present tense form of the verb. Examples: Beena needs her parents' support. Beena needs her parents' support. Here, needs is used as the main verb showing the meaning require. Beena requires her parents' support. That is the meaning. Next one, need you be so aggressive? Here, need is used as the interrogative form, that is used as a question word. You need not shift to another house. Here, need is used, need not. So, need is used as negative word. Not is also used, so that's why negative. And in both cases, in interrogative and negative cases, here it is only the simple present tense form is used, or V1 form is used. Next one, dare. The function of dare is to express shock and anger. If you want to say denote shock or anger, you can use dare. And it is used to denote venture. And in order to show venture, then we can use dare. Next one, to construct interrogative sentence. For question sentences, question type, we can use dare. Example: how dare she behave so irresponsibly? That is showing what? Anger or shock. Next one, they dared go into the haunted house all by themselves. Here it is used as a venture. Does she dare say that we have ill-treated her? In this case, it is used in interrogative sentence. That's about dare. Next one, must. Functions of must are to show determination. It is used to show determination. Must is used to show duty or obligation, and must is used to show what is bound to happen, what will happen. Okay. Next one, must is used to indicate certainty and necessity. If something urgent will happen, we can use must. So examples: I must clean the yard this weekend. Here this sentence shows determination. We must help the weak and the helpless. That shows our duty or obligation. Every child must grow up to face the future. This sentence shows what is bound to happen. Next one, Uncle Colonel must have taken up a new job. Drivers must follow the traffic rules. Both these sentences show certainty or necessity. That's about must. Next one, used to, the functions of used to. Used to indicate a repeated action. If some repeated action, if you want to denote a repeated actions, you can use used to. To indicate a discontinued habit or practice. So you already practice something or continue some habit, but you discontinued at a point, then we can use used to. Then used to indicate being accustomed to something. If we are used to something, if you are familiar with something, we can use used to. Examples: my sister used to play basketball when she was in school. That means she was not in school now. When my sister was in school, she used to play basketball. That shows repeated action. Next one, he used to hold concerts before he took up a job. This means before getting that job, he used to hold concerts. That was a habit, but now that habit discontinued. Geeta is not used to following instructions. This one indicates accustomed to something, accustomed to do that action. So that's about used to. Now the last one, that is ought to. Functions of ought to. Ought to show strong probability. Some probability means sometimes it may happen, sometimes it may not happen. That is probability. Here this ought to shows strong probability. Next one, ought to denote duty or obligation. So it has the function of showing duty or obligation. Example: the film ought to end by 3 p.m. That is not a sure thing. Sometimes the film ought to end by 3 p.m. Next one, you ought to have obeyed your parents. This shows duty or obligation. So these are the functions and examples of models. So read this many times. It is there in your textbook, that is in page number 34, 35 and 37. So go through these 3 tables so many times, then you can get a clear idea, and then after that you do the exercise. Your today's activity is, you have to do exercises A, B, C and D. That is given in page number 36 and 38. Do all these exercises yourself and I will send you the answer key. Okay. Hi children, I hope all of you understood today's class. You study well, read well, study well, and if you have any doubt, ask me. So till we meet in the next class, bye.